Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the 808 podcast where I interview business owners, CEOs, marketing people, whoever else I feel like. It is 4 questions in 8 minutes and 8 seconds because 808 looks like Bob, and here we go. Question number 1, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what do you do?
My name is Anthony Winston III. I own Winston Engineering, which is a MEP engineering firm. MEP stands for Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing. We provide HVAC, electrical, and plumbing engineering construction permit plans for residential and commercial buildings. And we are the only Black-owned MEP engineering firm on the West Coast of the United States.
Awesome. Love it there, Anthony. So question number 2, what advice do you want to share? Go.
In terms of business ownership, I didn't have a business degree. I was totally a nerd in engineering, and I simply researched and Googled how do you start a business. So I suggest anybody who's looking to be an entrepreneur, you don't necessarily need college for it, but you have to be extremely resourceful and you have to have a ton of grit.
Okay, so like when you started your business, so you had this idea, I'm gonna start my own business. So like, what were some of the things that you realized that you could have done better?
Probably actually working in the industry prior to going into the MEP field, because before I started my company, I worked in government defense.
Right.
So I did missile and radar testing. I did some stuff with the Navy, and I had zero insight into the MEP field. My first foray into construction was working for a big electrical contractor. So I had insight into that, but actually working for an MEP firm, I probably would have had a better grasp. And I mean, things like pricing and who your customer base is, right? Because I wasted a lot of time chasing a customer base that I didn't need to.
So what were some of those customers you wasted your time with? Like the type of base you went at first?
So for instance, if I was driving past a empty shopping center that had, for lease or whatever the case may be, I would go print up a bunch of flyers and stick my flyers in the windows, thinking that whoever's going to move in is going to need my services. And I got zero calls from that. So
Right.
that taught me very quickly that those aren't the gatekeepers. So you got to talk to the architects, the contractors, folks like that.
Perfect. No, that makes a lot of sense there. So, yeah. Is there anything else like what you realized on your business that you should have known beforehand?
I think I did a fairly decent job of setting the groundwork. But one thing I wish I would have known, and nobody really talks about it, is the people aspect of being a business owner, right? You have all these great ideas, you want to provide the service, but you have to understand how to deal with people. And not everybody is easy, right? You get clients who are very difficult. Give you an example. We were in a fire zone when wildfires hit in California. I'm packing up my house and the client did not care. They wanted their project.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to understand how to navigate those personalities, because there's been times where I've gone off on clients and then in hindsight, I was correct, but I should have approached it a different way. So
Right.
I've learned a lot about how to deal with individuals.
Actually, I had the same thing when we had a big fire in our city about 10 years ago, and I was a political consultant at the time, and was told on the phone is while I'm evacuating, well, you get the meeting now, or who knows when you're going to get it. And literally the mountains where we are, it looks like Mordor from Lord of the Rings. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm talking to you while I'm evacuating. Headset, let's do this. And
you're better than me, I tell you that.
Yeah, that part there. Okay, let's get to question number 3. What other top CEOs, business owners, or influencers that you know that are successful like you that you want to give a shout out to?
That's a tough one because it's a lot of influencers. One that I follow on Instagram is I believe his name David Shands. He's a business coach, but he's very practical in how he approaches things. Another one is Eric Thomas. I think his handle is ET, the hip hop preacher or something like that. But just his grit, like you've heard his voice on video games, right? Because he has that kind of grit that makes you get out of bed. And sometimes you need that voice in the back of your head when you want to give up. So those are the 2 that immediately come to mind.
Awesome. Let's get to question number 4, the final fun question. Anthony, tell me about your first sale.
My first sale was actually a Iranian restaurant, and the gentleman wanted to put in a new hood and needed electrical engineering plans. And I knew I knew how to draw the plans up safely, but I didn't
Right.
know the structure of drawings. So, I get this first sale. I think it was for $500. I meet the gentleman at Kinko's, and I'm realizing I'm missing some key notes that I need to. So I'm literally drawing with a Sharpie what he needs to get his permit. And that was a huge lesson. I think I was so excited. Wow, somebody's actually paying me to do some engineering drawings. And luckily, it got through plan check the first round. So that
Perfect.
was client number one. It was called Booth Grill, which I don't think they're still in business right now.
Well, there we go. There. So, hey, now, Anthony, you've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. You can do some promo time, ask me a question, talk about the weather, or since the best and want to be concise and want to end, we end early. Go for it.
Well, yeah, I post pretty heavily on social media. You can follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. Just search Winston Engineering. You can also check us out at winstoneng.com. I get quite a few folks who reach out to me personally on LinkedIn, not through the business profile, but through my personal profile, saying, "Hey, you're an inspiration. I want to do what you're doing." So I never ignore those. I'm always answering, but just make sure that when you do hit me up, that you're actually willing to put forth the work that needs to be done.
Right.
Otherwise, you're wasting my time. So actually, a gentleman hit me up, and he's based out of Texas, and said, "Hey, I want to do this." This was a few years ago. And just through us talking and me helping him realize that, hey, if this doesn't work out, you can go back and get a job. He actually quit his job and he started his own firm. So it's nice to be able to pass along knowledge to folks, to help them avoid the hurdles that I went through. So I really enjoy that.
Perfect. Perfect there. Hey, we got a minute. I want to ask you another question real quick,
Mhm.
because you said you're on LinkedIn. Have you, because you're in the B2B space, have you gotten, I mean, off Instagram, have you gotten business off Instagram in the B2B
Uh,
space?
Instagram, not, no, I have not. It's just another touch point, right? So if I'm trying to reach an architect on LinkedIn and they see my post and then we're following each other on Instagram, that's just another thing to keep me on the top of your mind, just like when
Okay.
we send a weekly email blast. So it's that kind of that slow drip, right? I'm not
Right.
annoying with it, but you're gonna know we're there.
Perfect. That works. You pulled it off. 4 questions in 8 minutes and 8 seconds. Anthony, why is it 8 minutes and 8 seconds?
Because it spells Bob.
Exactly. There. Love it there. Your website. Say it real quick.
WinstonENG.com.
It's in the description. It's magic. Anthony, thank you so much for being on. Tip of the hat to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. For everyone else watching or listening, I'm legally required to tell you to like, share, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, whatever the heck the social media network tells you to do. You all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.